Good afternoon. I guess it's still morning. It's 11 o'clock, but I'm going to say afternoon. It's close to lunch. And I want to welcome you to the Cannon County Chamber Connection. And of course, this is brought to you by DTC Communications, and we always appreciate all they do for the Chamber in Cannon County. And of course, my name is Carolyn Motley, and my co-host is Keith Reedy. And this is, I don't know where the time goes anymore. I was looking the other day, and there are some people that still have their Christmas decorations up. Now, this is okay. Not saying a thing.
That's because if they put their keep their Christmas decorations up, time flies. Before you know it, it's December again.
Well, there's been times when I would have liked to have left mine up.
That's the reason why I say that.
But that's okay. I'm not judging. I kind of usually after Christmas and New Year's and all the lights come down, it's kind of boring until the spring flowers start coming up. But I have daffodils that are ready to bloom. I mean ready to bloom, not just coming out of the ground. And I think that may be due to all this rain. But we usually don't have a lot of things that go on in January and February and March. March is kind of the transition month where people start planting more things outside and everything. But we have had so much rain. And, February, we just had Groundhog Day. And, of course, that groundhog seen his shadow. It was snowing where he was at. I don't know how that happened. But that means we're supposed to have an early spring. Do y'all put any credence to that groundhog?
If you look at the pattern over the last few years, that's when I've kind of noticed it.
Well, I don't think he's seen his shadow in years.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's not seen his shadow, and we've gotten blizzards in February and into March, and what was it, last year we had even a snow in April.
Well, we may still get that. Do you go by that groundhog?
Sometimes.
Do you really?
Sometimes. It's just fun to keep.
But isn't there like two different groundhogs?
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's two different groundhogs, though, right?
Yeah, well, that Ponsatonki Phil or whatever his name is.
And then I thought there was another one.
Where is he at in Arizona?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly where.
I don't know where he is either. I think they just keep this little groundhog in a pen and bring him out, and they like to dress up. And so they just bring him out, and he just looks at everybody. And
see, Carolyn's telling people that there's not a lot of events or activities that go on in January and February. But here's an activity in February.
Well,
maybe we need to start one of those type of things here. See if we can find a groundhog or a hamster.
I'm kind of scrounging for things to talk about when I'm
we can
telling
find
you
a
about a
hamster and see
groundhog.
if it sees its shadow or something. And
there's a lot of skunks out.
There are.
There are. I don't know how many. We went to Cookeville on Saturday, and I think there were 3 of them that were killed on the highway. And, I mean, you see that a lot, but not that many. But my dog goes over at the neighbors, and he dug out a whole den of them. My neighbors were burning candles and everything else because he ran them up under their porch. Well, they didn't tell us he did that. He'd come home dirty. I mean, you could tell he'd been digging at something. But he ran all them skunks up under Darren and them's porch. And finally, he told Terry, he says, we're burning candles and everything else. So now we bathe our dog, and we have to put him up at night so he won't go over there and dig out the skunks. You'd think he'd learn. He's been sprayed a lot.
maybe he likes it.
Well, he looks like him. He's black and white.
Oh, is that what it is?
And
He looks
black
like
and
him, so
white,
they
and
might
he looks
mistake.
like
I
him.
got you.
So anyway, well, we had the annual chamber banquet, January 16th. We had a good crowd. The food was great. It was catered by a new restaurant that's coming in Woodbury, Sophia's. They had and then of course the dessert was by Tea Cakes Bakery and Cafe. and it was good. I couldn't find a thing bad to say about it.
No, me-
And we had, well, this year, Gary Hancock, who had been with the chamber, Gary's been with the chamber off and on for years. I've been here 17 years, and I think he was president when I came on the chamber 17 years ago. But then after 6 years, you're supposed to have a mandatory retirement of at least a year. And he did. He's done that several times and come back. Well, he just finished another 6-year term. So he handed the gavel over to Marcia Petty, who is the director of the library here, and she will be our president for 2020. And this guy right here is the vice president. And then Deborah Leach is the treasurer. And then we have 4 other board members. But at the annual banquet, we don't really have a speaker because we found out that our crowd decreased when we did that. So what we do is we give everybody a 60-second commercial. Now, when I say 60 seconds, some of them go over 60 seconds. Nobody pulls them off with a hook, but people like to tell about themselves, you know, and who they're with, and it's very informative because some of our chamber members don't know each other. Most of them do, but some of them don't. So they seem to enjoy that more. And then we give outdoor prizes and the party's over. And that usually takes about 2 hours because that's just about the attention span that everybody has. It's 2 hours. Well, are you going to
I would
comment on
agree.
that?
Yeah, I would say about 2 hours.
We used to have speakers and that didn't, you know, you'd see them over there yawning and everything else. So I thought, okay, we'll just keep this moving. But it was good, and I appreciated everybody coming. It was a good party.
Hopefully nobody that spoke at one of these things is watching this because they're going, well, that's the reason why I'm not invited back. Because people yawned at me.
No, it's just the truth. I feel
Well, it
that way
is.
about any meeting, really.
Yeah.
Because you kind of
Get bored.
you guys go to a lot of meetings, don't you?
We certainly do.
Do you yawn at a bunch of them?
I hope not.
Okay.
No, some of them are interesting, but you know, when you've had 2 or 3 and your attention starts going places, you know. So I thought if everybody just gets up and tells a little bit about themselves, that goes over pretty well. Okay, we're going to start today with 2 of our guests, and of course I've had the Child Advocacy Center on the show several times. They're a very important part of our community. It's probably one of those things that you wished you didn't have to have because they deal with abuse in children, sexual and other types of abuses, but you do. And so we're lucky that we have these people here that go out to the homes and see the people and try to help in circumstances that they can help. And we have with us today, Cassell Davis took another job, with child advocacy, but it was in Warren County. And of course, she lives in Warren County. So our new girl is Amanda Hammond. And you've been here a week, Amanda?
1 week, yes.
And she brought her sidekick with her, and that is Katie Enzer. And Katie, you've been with the Child Advocacy Center for a while, haven't
I've
you?
been with both offices in Rutherford
Yeah.
County and in Woodbury or Cannon County since September of 2019, so about 5 or 6 months.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that. It
No.
seems like you've been
No.
there longer than that.
No, we're both certainly enjoying the new part of our journey here.
Trying to find your way around Cannon County.
That's
huh?
right. With lots of good friends, though. Y'all seem to be very helpful.
Well, you know they are. People are. In Cannon County, they'll try to give you a hand. They won't send you somewhere that's not right. Now, your navigational system might, because it don't have a lot of the updated back roads on it. If you're in the city, you're okay. But Well, Amanda, what are you thinking so far?
Well, so far, I'm excited. I've loved everything that I've been exposed to so far. So I think, though, like you mentioned, it's kind of a bittersweet job to have, a social work job, but somebody has to do it, and
Well, they
I
do.
don't take that lightly. So
Yeah. No, you can't, because how many families are there on the rolls in Cannon County right now? Do you know? Or am I asking you something too early?
well, how many? So last year we served about 300 families
In Cannon County?
in Cannon County.
In Woodbury and Cannon County alone, we serviced, that's right, a little over
A little over
300
300.
cases.
And you did home visits to all of those?
I did not.
Well, actually,
did.
Cassell did. Cassell did, thankfully, and with her hard work, they were able to bring a lot of comfort to those families,
Right.
as well, which is the end goal, right? So to make sure that even though something like child abuse, child sexual abuse has happened in the home, that we're able to be there to provide resources that Woodbury, Cannon County, and Rutherford County, has to offer, because there's just nothing quite like hearing some tragic news about something that you never thought would ever happen.
Right.
But when it does happen, you have somewhere to go, and that seems to be here a very good place for Woodbury to have, which Cannon County, we're right there by the office or courthouse, so it's very centralized and very located, so people can find us.
And you actually do have, I don't know what you call them when they bring in the children or the parents and you have other court officers that come in, right, when you do the interviews. I guess that's what you call it.
Yes, so there
We
would
do something called a forensic interview.
Okay.
We have a couple of people that are trained specifically for those interviews. And so our office is kind of a safe place for kids to come, and if they've been exposed to severe child abuse or sex abuse, they do get interviewed. And it is, like I said, a safe place for them to come, because that's a difficult story to have to tell. So we try to make that as painless as possible for them.
Well, most of them, depending on their age, they don't want to tell to get their parent or whoever in trouble, even though that's happened to them, they will still take up for them.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, trying to get them help sometimes is hard, isn't it?
It can be hard. It
Yeah.
can be.
But a lot of these families, when they're left with a one-parent family, then they have a difficult time just getting by every day, food and supplies and.
That is true, and that's one good thing about the services that we provide, that we're definitely a support to the families, and just kind of like a friendly face to people who maybe they just need somebody to talk to. A lot of things are going on in people's lives, and so if we could be that one kind of like strong support person that they know is like a helper, a support, that they may not be getting from anybody else. So maybe they just need to have a conversation with somebody and just know that somebody cares about them and wants to know what's going on with them. And that's a really important piece of what we do too.
Well, financially, and I'm sure this happens, you have grandparents that are having to take care of the children for whatever reason, because sometimes both parents are involved in something that they need to be removed. Now, most grandparents, they're not set up to raise their grandchildren financially.
That's right. And we can help connect them to some resources that could be available for them financially. We also do receive community donations. I think a large donation of something, we can distribute that to families. We get clothing in the office, shoes, food, just everyday essentials like, paper towels, toilet paper, things that maybe some people take for granted that some families don't have, especially if they're taking on extra children.
Right.
I mean, they may not have food to last them. So then you ask them to take on more kids, and we understand that can be overwhelming. So we do try to provide as much as we can to ease that, so that it's not about a burden. It's about equipping them to be able to take care and love on these children that need somebody to love them.
That's a really good point, Amanda. And just like you were saying, most of the children, here in the Tennessee area that we've serviced, or nationally, the statistic normally is 1 in 10 children, boys or girls, will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. And so that's nationally, not necessarily is it statistically here, but we do see those cases. And most of the times a parent of a child either is drug endangered or has some sort of substance abuse and or are being sexually abused. So when the grandparents, like you said, have custody of these children, it's a huge financial burden.
It is.
And it is something that they were not prepared necessarily for. So I can't necessarily imagine what that would be like, because as a grandparent, I hear it's one of the better jobs that you can have. And so you want to be able to love on them and give them the support that they need, even though your family's hurting. So we want to be there for them for sure.
Out of the 300 that you had last year, how many of those particular cases were child sexual abuse cases in regards to other abuse cases?
I don't necessarily I don't have the super stats on that,
Right.
but I will say the majority.
Less than 100 are involved in sex abuse.
That's incredible. When you think there's 365 days out of the year, and you're talking one sexual abuse case per day in Canyon County on an average, or maybe a little less, that would happen.
Sometimes, guys, it's not a parent. It may be a family member,
Certainly.
but not necessarily a parent. But if it's family, still, you're going to have to deal with these things, and sometimes, I would be floored,
Absolutely.
and mine are all grown. And my grandkids are grown, but I would still be floored. You don't know where to go at that point.
Yeah, and I think that just goes with anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a family member or somebody on the outside of the
that's
family.
true. That's true.
You still would be floored, but once again, you wouldn't know what kind of resources you do have to get help.
Again, 90% of the children that have reported or disclosed to us do know their offender, whether it's any sort of sexual abuse or if it's just physical abuse. It is someone that they know or that they trust, but they also go to school and they tell these trusted teachers, their Sunday school teachers, they tell people that they trust, and they also, can get those resources, and they can get the number to our hotline that actually can call us, and that's when the program is activated, and they come and see us at our office. They see Miss Amanda, and she kind of helps guide them through that process.
Teachers know, they see this every day, and I'm sure they're familiar. They kind of can figure out if something's going, not always, but most of the time you can.
We also have a person in our office that gives community trainings, and she also educates the community on how to report anything that might be suspected.
Is that the
kind of
lightness
what
to
signs-
dark?
The darkness to light.
Yeah, darkness to light.
Great program. You can use it for company events, social functions. It's not certainly something that we like to talk about in social functions, but it's also the program is very cumulative. It's very easy to follow, and also really good for program assistants and any sort of counselors to use on their day-to-day life.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah,
How
she's
did you
been
get
honest
started
over
in this?
there.
I know that's probably a question a lot of people would like to find out, coming into the Child Advocacy Center.
Yes, I actually am brand new to the area. I'm living in Rutherford County, so I'm still learning Canyon County. But I'm coming from Davidson County Department of Children's Services with 13 years of experience there as a case manager, and just a little bit of this and that for them.
So
But
you have a background in this.
I do. I have a degree in social work, and I have a master's degree in sociology and business administration, which is probably more information than most people want to know.
Oh, no,
But this
people
has
wanna
kind of
know
been
everything.
a step up for you in this position with the Child Advocacy Center than it has been serving as a representative for the Department of Children's Services.
It's been a different role for sure, because I'm used to, though I'm trained to work with families, this is more community awareness, I think, than what I'm used to with DCS. It's kind of just being on a different side of the fence.
Yeah.
And of course, as with all programs like this to some degree, maybe not all of them, but most of them, you do have to have fundraisers to get by.
That's right.
And like the public donations and everything, everybody working together to give you some of the things that you need to help these people. But one of the fundraisers that you have every year was started some years ago, and that is the Run Walk.
It
The
is.
Cannon Runs.
It is, and that's going to be my area. I love,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I wish I could do all the social work, and I wish I could do all the things that she gets to, kind of help with. But certainly, I'm more of a communications and development part of the Child Advocacy Center. So yeah, but with fundraising comes a lot of fun, but also a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And we are actually starting, kind of gearing up, if you will, for our coming fundraiser here in Cannon County, Cannon Runs, which is also a walk if you'd like. And we did get some permission to do that on May 2nd, 2020. So that's coming up, and you'll get more information on that from us.
And of course, that always starts at Dillon Park
It does.
and goes up Doolittle and come back. And then whenever you do get it out there, we'll talk about it again. But last year, it had a lot of participation in it last year.
That's what I heard. I
You
think
know,
over
so-
100 runners.
And that's good for anything.
Yes, I agree.
That's good for anything. And then, of course, during the year, like at Christmas time, I know that I took a couple, well, actually, there was a lady with several children. And so what happens in a case like that is normally they kind of split the kids up, because for one person to take a family with 5 children is difficult, so they kind of.
Split it up.
And I got the lady who was expecting her 5th baby, I guess. And actually, she had it before I could get her Christmas gift to her, but that was okay. And but that's another help that the community gives, is to take the families and kind of see that they get some Christmas.
Yeah, the Secret Santa
Things,
program,
yeah.
I think, is what y'all were involved with in December, right? I think, God, that was just yesterday, it feels like.
It was.
Yeah, I remember talking about that briefly. And yeah, we certainly appreciate our local community that, come to the office. They sponsor families, whether it's one child, one item, or a whole family.
Right.
And it does take a community to help
Do that.
Help do that.
And of course, the toy drive that we have with the cruise-ins, those toys go to the Child Advocacy Center.
That's right.
So that kind of helps too.
Cannon County does a lot for the Child Advocacy Center, and we're so very thankful.
Yes.
They are very, very giving here. They are about almost everything, They do a good job with that. The
And I've
churches
said this
do.
before too, that you guys do a great job of bringing awareness to the community as well, because that, years ago when you guys first came in,
Right.
everybody thought it was just a service for people in Rutherford County.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people are fighting with the United Way right now.
Right.
Just thinking, well, there's no resources for us, but there are.
There are.
And you guys have done a great job of promoting and getting the word out there to get people aware that you are here in Cannon County and benefit Cannon County.
The key to that is having a local office and someone here
Yep.
that someone can contact. Because that's with everything, and they always, there's several different agencies that they say it's Rutherford and Cannon County.
Right.
Rutherford has many resources where we're limited, and so, and I'm not, this sounds like I'm being bitter, and I'm not, but most of the resources went to Rutherford County, and we had some, but not a lot, but now that's different. But part of it is because there's someone that people can see in the county and also can call.
And you can find Amanda here. We've got local, we've got a local phone number. I'm here. I think I've been here, golly, about at least 6 times in the last 2 weeks. So I feel like I'm up and down the roads.
You
and
think you ought to rent
I gotta
a room
make,
here?
gotta make a little space here for me in Woodbury. So.
But that is it. I just had a visit last week from the Salvation Army. And of course, we've never had a presence in Cannon County with the Salvation Army. And this young man was doing a report, and he come in and he said, well, what do you know about the Salvation Army? And I said, and he says, what do you think the community identifies with? And I says, ringing a bell at Christmas time, and that is. And I says, I'm not even sure if I know exactly what all the money goes to. Mm-hmm. And I says, I know that it goes to help the homeless. And he goes, well, we have a homeless shelter in Rutherford County. And he says, we do help people down there in certain situations, And I says, well, I don't believe I've ever seen the bell up here.
Right.
So,
And
people
you're
know
right.
what the Salvation Army is,
There's
but
so
we've
many
never
other-
had a presence with it.
Right, there's so many other people and so many other organizations that do partner up with Cannon County that we don't know about, simply kind of like the Salvation Army. Yeah, I would know because I'm involved in the news industry, but not a lot of people would know that if they become homeless in Woodbury or Cannon County, they can just run up the road to Murfreesboro and seek some temporary shelter, and get plugged into some programs and stuff.
Well, you could probably, well, I know you could. You could get a lot more help as far as for them telling you. I think their shelter is probably, well, they have a lot bigger population down there too, so I'm sure they have a lot more homeless than we deal with. Although I do think there are some people in Cannon County that are homeless. I just don't know where they are. I see them every now and then, but I don't know where they go or where they come from. But that is one of the things that when you say Rutherford and Cannon County, a lot of times it's more Rutherford than it is Cannon County. But that is a changing because now we have the CASA program also, and that kind of deals not exactly with what the child advocacy does, but it's there for the children, and that's where they have a representative to speak for them that is trained to go into the house and speak with them. So, yeah, there's all these opportunities now, so you should be able to find some help if this is a situation or a problem with you. It shouldn't be difficult. How could you, your phone number, Amanda, what is it?
You would ask me about the office phone number,
Yes,
and I
I
don't have
know.
it memorized.
Well, as of today, I can give you this one, and they can certainly reach us.
Okay.
And so it's 615-867-9000. We can have any representative help, or we can certainly send them to Miss Amanda.
I usually
During
give-
the training, though, we might keep her in Rutherford just for another couple days, just to get her trained.
I usually give families that I've been meeting my personal phone number so that they can reach me whenever they
Well,
need
the
to.
office phone number is still the same,
And the
isn't it?
office number is the same as
Well, you can always call the chamber. I'll give it to you.
There you go.
We know
Yes,
it's
I have it.
563 something.
615-563. Okay. Well, ladies, is there anything else you want to talk to us about while you're here?
I don't think so. We covered a lot.
Got everything in?
Just invite the public to come run with you in May, right?
Come run with us in May. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call.
Did we mention that the kids run free?
Oh, yes, 18 and under, children, yes, children, they still are children sometimes. But 18 and under do run free. There are T-shirts, there will be T-shirts available to purchase.
It's all
We'll
about
have-
the T-shirts,
I
ladies.
know, and this one's going to be cute, though. We're excited about doing something a little bit different this year, but to show support with our local children in all the school systems. So we hope to
Okay,
have
good.
a lot of kids that show up and just have fun, run out some of that energy, but also have a lot of beautiful day, hopefully, if it's not raining in May or snowing.
You never know. You don't. Well, I hope it's not snow either, because my flowers will never get over it. So, you know,
No, it
'cause I got
won't.
daffodils ready to bloom. I mean, you see the yellow.
It won't snow in May because the outdoor sports season will be finished to high school, so they won't, no. It'll
I'll hold
snow
you
in
to
March
that.
and April, trust me.
No, that's when the cruise-in starts, so yeah.
Yeah, well, that too, yeah. Anything outdoors, get ready. If Keith's involved with it, it's going to snow or it's going to rain.
Well, it is, if you have an outdoor event, it is all weather related. But I've
is
seen
rain or
them,
shine, though, I do
I've
believe.
seen them run in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My grandson, he ran in an ice storm one time, and I'll never forget. It was over at, it was one of the parks that was close around here. He said he was honestly so cold. He says, I couldn't feel my fingers. I couldn't feel. And he said, at one point, my shoes came untied, and his shoestrings were frozen. And so he was bent over, tying his shoe. And he kind of fell over, I think, is what happened. And he said these two older ladies came running by. And he said one of them just kind of jumped over him and they went on.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't realize we had hurdles in this 5K. Yeah.
No, he said that he about froze to death. I forget which part they were in, but he said that was the hardest run he ever did. And he said he about froze to death. And I says, well, did you see the two little ladies? He goes, yeah, they were up there when we got done. They were up there. He says they were drinking hot chocolate or something.
That was the time of their life.
Oh, my.
Well, I think I told him I thought they were in better shape than him. I'm not sure, but anyway, if you like the runs and the walks and everything, here's your chance. And that's going to be again in May.
May 2nd.
Okay. Be at Dillon Park, and you'll be hearing more about that. Well, ladies, I thank both of you for coming by and talking to us about it. Amanda, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
And of course, you know, if I don't know what I could do to help you, but if you need something, you can call me.
I definitely will. I definitely will.
All right. Well, thank you very much, both of you. And you can go ahead and
Good, we get
and
to go.
get up
Okay.
and go. You can
Thank you
go
for
out of
having
here.
us, and we very much appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. I will use that. Lindsay, come on in here.
She's got a lot to talk about.
Oh, and she can do it in a hurry.
This
I know.
past Saturday, was it this past Saturday? No.
Saturday before.
Saturday before, yeah, because I've been sick, so yeah. We had the celebrating 40 years of the Arts Center of Caney County, and what a great event that was.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. We had some really great speakers just talking about how the Art Center got started. And I have only been involved at the Art Center for about 12 years, so I'm new, I guess. But it was really interesting to hear everybody's stories and
Right.
hear about the sense of community that the Art Center has brought to Caney County, and to hear about everybody that has been touched by something that has happened here. So that was pretty cool.
Yes, it was.
One of the big highlights of that particular event was the preview of The Fiddler on the Roof. And I tell you, the people that went to this, they could not stop talking after the event was over about the preview that they got to see.
Oh, listen, there's been rave reviews for the ones that have gone to that.
Oh, yeah,
That I've
yeah.
heard.
We opened this past weekend, and we run for 2 more weekends, Fiddler on the Roof. It is a classic, and the cast is fantastic. They worked so hard, and it's really a quality performance. So
And they practice a lot,
a
don't
lot. They did practice a lot. So if Fiddler on the Roof is something that you guys are interested in, please come and see it before it closes. It closes on February 15th, so it's over Valentine's Day, kind of that last show there, 15th, if you wanted to come by all over the
And
weekend.
you do, now the evening performances on Fridays and Saturdays are 7:30,
7:30.
but the Sundays are at 2 o'clock.
Yes, and we only have one more Sunday left this time. So it was this coming Sunday, which I don't know the date off the top of my head. The 9th, yes. The 9th is a 2 o'clock matinee, and then the final weekend, there's not a 2 o'clock. We'll do a Friday night and a Saturday night at 7:30 for that last weekend.
You'll enjoy it. Listen,
Yes.
and the price, you can't beat the price.
Yes,
You
it's
can't.
$15 for adults, $13 for seniors and students, and that price includes a student all the way through college. And then, we have a group rate. If you get more than 10 people, it's only $12 a person. I mean, sometimes you can't even go to a movie theater
Well,
for that much.
no, you can't do anything anymore.
Right. But we do have season tickets that are still on sale for 2020. So if you haven't seen Fiddler on the Roof yet and you want a season ticket, those are $65 for the entire year, and that is 6 performances throughout the year. And that is a really good deal as well.
Now, that doesn't include the concerts.
It does not include the concert. Those are separate since the individual bands rent our space and it's kind of done separately. But we've got some great concerts coming up too I can talk about as well. Our season, to go through it really quickly, Fiddler on the Roof, which is of course open right now, Honky Tonk Angels, which is March 27th through April 11th.
Is that a musical or a
It is.
play?
No, it's a musical.
Okay.
Lots of country music, probably a lot of your favorites. If you're local, Matt Smith and Mary Ellen Smith are going to be doing that one. Mary Ellen will probably be performing. Matt Smith is directing that one. It's going to be a fantastic show. It's a smaller cast, but there is a storyline available, so it's not concert necessarily, but it is all country music. It's a lot of fun. So that is Honky Tonk Angels. That is March 27th through April 11th. Then we have Matilda, the musical, which is based on a children's book that became a movie later on. That is July the 10th through the 25th, and that is a super fun show as well. It's a musical, like I mentioned before. So lots of fun music for that one. Then The Wedding Singer, which was a movie. That is August the 14th through the 29th. And then Wait Until Dark. Now that one is a play. It's based on an old movie with Audrey Hepburn, suspense murder mystery kind of, and that is September 25th through October 10th. That is Wait Until Dark. And then in December, we waited to announce this one until right at the beginning of January, but it is December 4th through the 19th. We are doing Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which
that'll
is
be great.
wonderful. Yeah, it's a great show. This Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, I will say, has a twist to it. You still have all the classic songs that you love. You still see, the ball gown and the fairy godmother and the glass slipper, and it's all
the mice.
there. Well, actually, not
Come on, I want the mice.
That's Disney. This is Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'm a
But
fan
that
of
might have been the twist, though.
No, but you're right.
You were talking about a twist, so.
There is a twist. There's a twist. But you still have all the parts of it that you love, and then some exciting things at the end.
But no mice, no mice.
Well-
No mice.
I always like that Cinderella.
Yes, that is the Disney version, which I am a huge fan of as well. But
I like all of those.
we also have a Young at Art school show series, and we put 3 shows on for children specifically in our season, mostly for schools. Our local schools take field trips during the week to come see these, but we also have public performances. We just closed Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe this past December. It was so fun. And then coming up, we have Frozen Junior, which if you have kids that have seen the Frozen movie, it's like the first Frozen movie. And it's a musical, and those public shows are on February the 28th and 29th and on March 7th. And the reason it's a school show or a kid's show, it's only about an hour long, an hour and 15 minutes. There's no intermission for kids with short attention spans. There's lots of colors and dancing and music and that kind of thing to hold kids' attention. So that's really what it's meant for. That's Frozen Junior. Then in April and May, we have Mr. Popper's Penguins, which is based on a book, and it was also made into a movie. The public shows for that one are May the 2nd and May the 9th. And you can get tickets for those online or give us a call. Or if you're a school that would be interested in coming on a field trip, then there is a field trip form you can fill out on our website as well. Or call us. We'll try to work you guys in. But I have to say, we're pretty packed. Those schools
I was
take
going
up.
to say Frozen should
Yes.
not even, should be standing room only for
Yes,
that.
those
Because those
seats-
are still popular.
Yes, those Frozen seats, they filled up pretty quickly right at the beginning of the school year even.
Yeah.
So we're expecting a great crowd for that one.
And they deal with this. I can't get over how they get that many kids in and seated and up and out and on the buses and more kids in.
Yes,
There's an art to
It's
that.
an art to it, yes. We can just, the teachers work really well with us. We've gotten lucky with a lot of the teachers that come by. We just line them in, line them up, sit them in the seats, and then when the show's over, they line up and load the buses out. We do have space to eat lunch. If your school is wanting to eat lunch as a group, we have our lovely gallery space that we're in right now, and it's kind of picnic style, so that's fun. And the kids bring their sack lunches and sit on the floor and have their lunch either before or after they see the show.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
And then they have been known to do them down in the farmer's market if the weather
Yes.
is permitting.
Which lately the weather has not. We haven't had one the past few days when it's been so warm. But we do have a pavilion outside. It's still picnic style. There aren't tables or chairs, but we are welcoming. It's welcome to anybody that is wanting to have lunch outside. There's a big field. Sometimes the kindergartners or younger kids like to run around in the big field, get some of that energy out after a bus ride. So we use that as well.
They do really well with these shows, and I think part of it is because a lot of the people that are in the shows, they can relate to as far as age. They're watching kids
Yes.
perform.
And it's not all of our shows, but several, like Frozen Junior, for instance, we will cast all students 18 and under.
Yeah.
So they're students on stage telling the story and captivating an audience, and a lot of students have been in the audience and said, hey, that looks like fun, maybe I can do that. And we have a huge conservatory summer program that we do every year. It's a 2-week-long summer camp for students 1st grade through 12th grade. And there are 3 different sessions of that you can come to. There's all kinds of information about that on our website as well. And we teach them singing, dancing, acting, and then at the end they put on a performance for all their friends and family. And so it's a 2-week-long day camp in the summer. It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of adults that come to those performances, even with the Young at Art series. That will come on the Saturdays and the Sundays too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we have open auditions for the public. I mean, we are a community theater, so we post our auditions online. Or if you want to join our audition mailing list, we have emails that go out specifically for people that are interested in auditioning. So there are several good auditions coming up. Actually, I think Matilda, the auditions for Matilda are coming up in March. So we just posted all that information online. And that is going to be a really fun show. So if you're interested in getting on stage yourself, then check out our website or give us a call, and we can give you some more information on that too.
There you go. How can you lose on
I
that?
know, it's so much fun. And I haven't talked about concerts yet, which is something that you guys mentioned a little while ago. Our first concert is coming up May 15th and 16th, and it's called Fire and Rain. It is the music of James Taylor, Carole King, and other singer-songwriter hits of the 70s. So if that's your era of music, that's what you like, come out on the May 15th and 16th. Tickets are $15. And that is going to be super fun. Our next one is the Ultimate Oldies Group, and they've come here several times. They always sell out. They are doing their 80s show, so it says pop rock hits by Van Halen, Cher, Michael Jackson, Whitney, Cyndi Lauper, Bon Jovi, Tom Petty, and more. So that is going to be fun. That is May the 29th through the 31st, and that one the tickets are $20. Then June 6th is the Music City Stones. So it is a tribute band for the Rolling Stones. And it is a Nashville group that's coming in.
A lot of fans for the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that one's sure to pull a big crowd. So get your tickets early. That's on June the 6th. June 20th and 21st is the Country Music Storytellers, starring Jason Petty, who is a local artist here. He was going to do this in our concert season in 2019, but ended up having to reschedule. So this is the rescheduled performance of the Country Music Storytellers with Jason Petty, and that is June 20th and 21st, and those tickets are $15. Then we have, in October, Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
You don't want to miss him. And a lot of them they've seen him, but they want to come back. They tell me
Absolutely.
that all the time.
I have people that come back 2 or 3 times in a weekend to
Yeah.
see the shows over and over again because they just love them. And it's a lot of our local talent here. They're so talented. This group is so
Very energetic.
Yes, for sure.
So if you're going to think you're going to come there and just sit there, you're not. You're not.
There's definite dancing and clapping that happens.
Oh, yeah.
That
Leg
is-
moving.
Yes, leg moving. That's Shake, Rattle, and Roll, and that's October 16th through the 18th. And it is the music of Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Johnny Cash. So you can't go wrong with those as
No.
well. So all of these tickets that I've talked about are available on our website. You can buy them online or give us a call. We can make a reservation for you. But I do recommend making a reservation no matter what you're coming to instead of just showing up at the door. Sometimes that works out, sometimes that's okay. But for most of our performances, I would say it's better to be safe than sorry. I would rather you not come and show up and then we're all sold out and don't have a seat for you. So call ahead of time and make a reservation for any of our shows or concerts, and we'll get you in.
Maybe I missed, did you give them the dates on the conservatories?
Those are on our website. I believe the junior conservatory starts June 1st. So that there's 2 weeks, there's a 2-week session there, June 1st, those 2 weeks, and then I don't remember the start date. I guess I can look at my calendar really quick. I'll give it to you.
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the
That's okay.
I didn't have it written down either, so.
No, that's okay. We just put it up on our website, I think, today. So, okay, so it's June 1st through the 13th. That's the first session of the junior camp, which is 1st grade through 6th grade. And then the second session starts June the 15th, and it goes through the 27th. And so those are the junior camp dates. And then in July, we start right after 4th of July, so it will be July the 6th through the 18th, and that's our senior camp, which are looking at grades 7th through 12th. Those are the older kids in July. There's one session for them, and it's so much fun.
They have a big time. Both of them do. Both the seniors and the little ones will take you to death because some of them, well, some of them have been here more than once, haven't they?
We have senior kids that have been there since they were first able to start the whole
Start in.
junior camp. They've come every year, and it's really fun for me to watch them grow and see how they change from year to year. And usually by the time they get here, you and I have both seen really shy students on the first day that don't want to talk. And by the end of the 2 weeks, they're dancing on stage and singing a solo.
You can't shut them up.
Exactly. But we have so much fun. We play games. We have lunch here in the gallery, and it's usually, we've been working with the local school system, so they're providing some lunches for us, which is fantastic. And we just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good for them.
Sing and dance
I mean,
and-
it's something to keep them entertained during the summer too, especially in June for the little ones to come here, because they do have, almost all of them have a big time. And they get to sing,
Yes.
you know, and you think when they first start out that no one is in tune. No one knows the words, really.
It's a learning process.
But by the time they leave, they sound pretty good.
They work really hard, and we have had the pleasure of having some really great
Teachers.
instructors, some teachers that have degrees in what they're teaching from MTSU, which is fantastic. They've been trained, and they work with kids all the time, and they are teaching in something that they love, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, we we have a great time. And I will say I'm biased because I've been a theater kid since I was little. But there are so many lessons that can be taught through theater performance, whether that's public speaking, which is what a lot of people struggle with, not me.
She never had any of that, I'm sure.
I'll just talk your ear off. But public speaking, it helps with that a lot. Confidence, team building. If you're putting together a show with a cast and doing your part to say your line or make your entrance or be in your spot, and so you're building something with a cast and a team, and it's just you just can't take some of those life lessons.
No, you can't.
It's just, I don't know, priceless.
Tell, listen, this should be the poster child right here for all of that, because she can talk anytime and with not a lot of preparation. Plus, she's really talented too. She can sing, she can dance.
Takes practice, and
I seen her
everybody starts somewhere. So.
Dancing in the rain. I seen her doing that.
Yes, singing and dancing in the rain.
Yes, you were.
That was fun.
Ruined the floor, but
Yes,
it was
ooh.
nice.
Well, we have a brand new floor in the theater, and I think singing in the rain was probably a big part of why we had to do that.
Sure
Over
it is.
Christmas, we completely put a new floor, a new stage on our stage, and it looks great. But yeah, it was ready for a new one after a little bit of water damage for singing in the rain. Tech week, that was a hard tech week for us,
Yes,
trying
it
to work out. We made it rain on stage, and it worked, and it was fantastic. The audience loved it, but we had some damage control that we had to do a little bit. It was worth it.
But it was great, because that was my question is, where's the rain coming from?
Made
But
it
they
rain.
did do it. They did.
Spectacle, of course.
Is there anything else, Lindsay, you want to tell us about?
Oh, I think I've covered just about everything. But our website, you can get all the information that I gave you is on our website. It is www.artscenterofcc.com. That's ARTS centerofcc.com, or you can give us a call, 615-563-2787, and we'll answer whatever questions you have.
All right. Well, thank you, dear.
Yeah, of course.
We'll have you back.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything, Keith, that you want to tell us?
Not that I can think of.
You're with the paper and you don't have anything to
We
tell
got
us?
government meetings. I don't know when this is going to air, but the Cannon County Prevention of Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition will be meeting next Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. And if you have not made one of those type of events or one of those things, and you've got the time to do so, come out and see what this is all about. Because we've talked to the Child Advocacy Center, obviously, about abuse and stuff. And one of the things that they do is that this coalition, they go into schools with the help of the UT Extension offices, and they present different programs. And, the people that are in charge of that coalition, they can also give you stories about kids that they talk to that will tell you different things that they really are, scared to really get out there and in the view and get their, people that they know in trouble or whatever.
This group focuses on the opioid problem that we all have. Everybody has it. And also on the drug abuse, and the vaping problem is a problem everywhere. I think there will be legislation. There already has been some concerning that, but good heavens, don't do that, because you hear these terror stories about kids that don't even, smoking damages you, but golly, I think it takes more years for the cigarettes to do that than the vaping, because you don't have to vape for very long, and your lungs are shot. So. And
the big thing about this coalition, they've been in existence for almost a year, a little over a year now. This will be their second year. And you're starting to see them grow. You're starting to see them mature to not only, at first the focus was on opioids, but now You're starting to see a little bit more talk about methamphetamines,
That's a
other
big
drugs
problem
that
everywhere,
are
too.
big problems, not here in Cannon County. So it was good to see that last month. Jimmy Hayes, who is an officer of the Woodbury Police Department, came out and gave a presentation on different types of drugs and how to recognize when somebody is under the influence of drugs and stuff. And it's
Well,
good to
with
see
meth,
that.
you can just about tell. Because it changes your whole appearance.
Oh, it does. It does.
It does, and it's not for the good either. So, and I was looking at the crime report on that, and I'm amazed at how many people that are in our jails that aren't from Cannon County,
Right.
but they're picked up here for meth, drugs, DUIs, but they don't live in Cannon County.
Right.
They
right.
live in surrounding counties.
They may know somebody here in Cannon County
Yeah,
that's
that they're
got
either
the problem
getting it
with
or bringing it to or
buying it
something.
from or bringing it to, and that's when
But
they get caught. But
This program is to educate people, and they're doing a heck of a job. Glenn Steakley and his wife are very committed to this, and they do a good job with it.
if you're a basketball fan, we've got high school basketball going on in the last 3 games of the season. Friday, and then next Tuesday and Thursday, and then we got playoffs.
Boy, that seems like it's gone really fast, too.
And a lot of people are very excited about the upcoming spring sports. In fact, the middle grades start their softball and baseball
They're already
seasons.
having sign-ups for it.
Yeah, they're starting them up this month, so I'm not for sure when that's going to start. I was supposed to be getting a schedule, but
Even if
We'll get
you've
one.
never had, or you don't have anybody that plays baseball or Little League, or you've never had, everybody needs to go out and watch at least one T-ball game because that is the funniest thing I've ever watched. They are so cute. You have one little kid up there that's trying to hit a ball off of a pole. And if he's a tee, if he's lucky enough to hit it off, it's so funny because they tell him to run to first base because a lot of them, they just hit it off and they don't know to run. And they'll tell him run, well, the whole team runs to first base. I love it. I love watching it. Okay, there are a couple of events. Saturday, February 15th. Is going to be Fill Your Bag event at the Simply E Boutique on Main Street, and it starts at 10 a.m. And I'm sure that this will be boutique items where you'll fill your bag, but I'm also sure there will be discounts or sales involved in that. February 22nd, Winterfest on and around the square will take place, and you will enjoy discounts, refreshments, dealer specials, and that's just a fun-filled day of shopping. And we have a lot of great antique stores involved and boutiques also. And then I've had calls already about this. The cruise-ins on the square will begin April 25th from 4 to 7 p.m. and the fourth Saturday of each month at that same time, except September, which will be an all-day event, and that is the Color of Fall Car Show. And then the Toy Drive Cruise-In will be October 10th. So those are, otherwise it'll be the fourth Saturday of every month. And March 21st is Edgar Evans State Park will be holding their annual waterfall tour. And I'm sure that you can find where you can go online and get tickets for that. You will be taken from one fall to another on a bus, but then there will be some walking on uneven ground too, so kind of keep that in mind.
need more information about that real quick, check out next week's issue of the Cannon Courier.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
That's it.
That's right.
The other event that I'm already getting calls on is the Good Old Days, and that will be May 15th and 16th. And it will be on the square, and you can contact the Senior Center, 615-563-5304 for information on that. And don't forget to fill out your census and get it back, because that means a lot of money to your county. So with that, happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you next month.